Welcome back, viewers, and thank you for staying tuned. Now, the last question with Hasina was about the finance of the business. When she was launching her business, the investment it required and everything. That wasn't so much of a big hurdle. But another part of finance you've touched on, but I want to elaborate a little bit on that, is the fact that your client is in a situation where they're very emotional and everything. How are you actually getting the money off them? How are you invoicing them and getting the money off them? It's a very difficult situation in your business. How are you overcoming that?
So it's systemized. So when we take the funeral instructions, there's a set of paperwork that we have to do. So first of all, we take the details down of exactly how the funeral is, the details of the deceased, the details of the client, and then the details of the actual funeral. So once we've taken all that details down, and then we have a contract that we get clients to sign, and then that contract is the estimate, and then that estimate is broken down, itemized, and transparent pricing of all the different costs that they will be paying for, and then so we get them to sign that piece of paperwork. And then what that does is that then they what that does is that they then gives us the permission to start the work, to arrange the funeral, and to put the service together. And as part of that terms is that they have to pay the full funeral costs 5 working days before the funeral, and then that means that the finances into our account, and then we can then also then pay for other services. Like one of the biggest cost is the cost of the
burial
the
site.
burial, yeah. It's averagely between £3,500 to £5,000, in some cases £10,000. If we didn't take that from client, then we would it would be very difficult for us to, if you can imagine, for us to financially turn over, basically, turn over the business. So in that sense, we have to, sometimes if families are actually financially challenged, then we do take a percentage of the funeral invoice up front to 70%, and then we have an agreement with them in place that they can pay the other installments, like usually 2 installments after the funeral, but within the month, because all the finance have been paid out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we
Now,
find that it's actually quite a smooth transition. It's not. Some people do say, well, why are you charging this? Why? And say, well, this is what that costs, and that having that estimate form then shows to the client actually this is what everything costs. So yeah.
No, that's reassuring to know that you're charging your clients and it's not so difficult and complicated, transactions going through smoothly. And not every business is like that. So I think you've got a positive side to your business on that side. Now, coming on to not your business in general, your expertise, your knowledge, your educational background, if you can help us out and for my viewers, give us some thoughts, especially for the women entrepreneurs. This may apply to both, but when someone starts a business, what's your view in terms of the areas they should look for, and what they should look out for when they go?
So I would say what should they look out for is that look for a need, look for what's really, how am I going to fill this gap? So for example, the care industry, brilliant industry. So can you go and do something within the care industry? Can you become, set up a domiciliary care company where you don't actually need big overheads? You can actually start that just from your own home, and then start recruiting carers.
I know that's a massive industry.
It's a massive industry. Yeah. It's going to get even bigger, and it's one place where women are going to be the prominent employees and employer as well. So caring is a brilliant industry. And another type of industry, I would love to set up a cleaning business, because I love cleaning. I don't like I love cleaning, but I like clean places. But can you imagine providing that as a service to either domestic, cleaning service or commercial? It's a huge scope. It's a huge scope. And the skill set, again, there's a whole load of skill set and even legislation that you have to go under. So I would say
both the industries you've just mentioned, I've got some knowledge in those industries in terms of the business models, and both of them are very lucrative businesses. You've just mentioned.
But lots of people turn their noses down when down at care and something like a cleaning business, because I think, oh yeah, it's not, again, you know, like same as my business, it doesn't sound high flying, high glam, you know, in the city. You're not, you know, moving. You're not working with the finance companies or banks or anything like that. But at the end of the day, you're making a difference. You know, so your business, you have to have a business that makes a difference to other people. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about making sure that you can provide a need, fill a gap in the market, and do that to your best ability.
Yeah.
So that's what is a good business. I don't know what that is for the individuals, but maybe you have a skill set. Maybe like another thing that I think is a good one is when you're doing like mobile chef, when you're cooking at people's houses. People are so busy these days that they don't have time to cook. You know, they're getting like, you know, these organizations, companies out there, they're creating little boxes. They come to your home, everything's mixed up. You have few instructions, and people are just, it's such a big industry, you know.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and that's like this meal comes in, you know, in raw state. You just cook it up so you don't have to go and cook. You don't have like waste and stuff like that. But so there are, I mean, as we are just becoming this much more faster community, more in the digital age, that there are lots and lots of businesses that are offline. So, you know, so I would say, you know, if you're into cooking, I've got friends who are brilliant chefs, and they go and actually cook for people in their house 3 times a week, or if there's a big event on. And, you know, that makes it so much more easier. I mean, I would love a personal chef, you know. I mean, who wouldn't, you know?
Definitely.
So, yeah.
No problem. I mean, the ideas you've just given are just certain ideas, but as you mentioned, if you've got a certain skill set, you know, look within that skill set. You know, look for an industry within your skill set, because obviously that's very important. But what I believe is very important is actually being passionate about what you're going to do, enjoy what you're going to do, and I think you can create success there very easily. As long as you've got the right skill set and you enjoy what you're doing, I think you know, it's just a positive way of going into business.
And you know what? That passion is so vital, because your clientele can tell that 6-second rule without them even knowing that is this person the real deal, or do they really hate their job? Because they can sense it. That's the difference, and that's the thing about business. You're not amazing. That makes it's all the subtleties around where our client knows that, you know, we are here 100% for them. People say to me, "How do you do your job?" I said, "I'm just serving my client. I'm just looking after what my client needs. That's it. I've created a service behind me. I have operations." But what I'm here looking after my clients' needs, and they can feel it. So therefore, passion, that level of concentration, focus, attention. You know, don't have your mobile phones next to you. And if it's absolutely urgent, if you can give it to your member of staff, then you give it. If you can't, then and you have to take it, then you explain to your client. You know, it's those small things. Giving the 100% client focus and attention, and having that level of passion makes such a difference to the ease of your day as well. Yeah,
that's very true. And as Asina just said, you know, it's very true, viewers. If you're in business, if you don't enjoy your business, that comes out of you without you realizing to your client. If you love what you do, if you enjoy what you do, it will come out as well, and that makes a big difference. So it has to come within, from within.
But I have to say, the thing about the passionate energy, that if you're tired, if you're really tired, it can actually, you know, affect your passion. It can affect your energy. So have some time off, go and do something nice, fill your cup, you know, do nice things for yourself, have a break. You might need some help. In our industry, you know, we work in a high loss environment. It's like we actually make sure that our staff go and get proper supervision, they get counselling. And it's important that mental health well, it's fine having a nice, fit, slim body, but if your emotions and your mind is not, you know, is not fully turned on, and you're not happy, you know, for me, that's a telling sign. You know, it could be that there's aspects of you that you need to have some support and, you know, time off, basically. I'm just saying that doesn't mean that just because you have passion, you've got to forget your business. It's not that. I had on Friday, I thought, am I doing what I'm doing? Is this right for me? And it's really good to have those moments, because all of a sudden you're in a situation where you get challenged, and then you have to look in and say, look, I need some time off. I'm finding this difficult, and it's important to do that.
And because when you take that time off, your subconscious is still thinking, and you're going to come up with a solution somewhere, somehow. I believe in that, and I think mental energy, mental power is so important in the world of business. You know, keeping that healthy keeps everything else healthy.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, how do you actually identify your client? I mean, marketing a funeral business, you know, it's not an easy thing to do, is it? I mean, and how do you identify your client, and why is it so important to understand your clients?
So so I can't say how important it is to identify your client. So our client base tend to be women. They tend to be on Facebook. So our client base is from the age of sort of 25 to 55, and they tend to be mainly women. I haven't decided that. I wish I did, then I would have wasted less time in the early years. But how I've identified that is that we've literally looked across section of the last 100 clients that we've had. We said, okay, who are they? Are they man? Are they woman? So they tend to be women. What age are they? They tend to be under this age bracket. Where do they hang out? They hang out on Facebook, Instagram, social media. And what type of funeral they're looking for? They tend to be looking for a funeral that's humanist, that has a environmentally friendly, women-focused business. So all of a sudden, what happens is that there's a value match between our client and what we are, who we're about. So it's really important to understand your client and how do you find them. So we do a lot of social media engagement. We do these like very 1-minute clips about, you know, how to register a death. What happens when your loved one dies? Really, really simple, because it's like when death happens to you, your mind goes like, you know, bazoom. It's like, so understanding your client and where your client's coming from is absolutely crucial. And having, for us, we get a lot of our work through Google now. We've optimized our website, and we're just doing that again and again. And
you obviously found some benefit in that. That's
absolutely, absolutely. So you know, now we have a specialist who's search engine optimization. He's that's his background. He's Bangladeshi actually.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's cool. And even like speaking to him, because his world is Google, he works with like Google, and he tells me some stuff about the future of websites, the future of the online, online community, and so, you know, it's fascinating. So it's about, you know, making sure our content's clear, content's clean. As you know, we're very, very, you know, even if it's just sharing images. Getting client feedback.
What's your key marketing plan? Which one do you use mostly? Is it SEO primarily, or is it Facebook marketing? Which one is which one is
so
it?
So last year we did lots of Facebook marketing.
Okay.
So we created some campaigns and videos, just sharing, like you know, you're asking me questions. It's just interviews, questions around you know, different aspects of the funeral. So we launched quite a lot of those, and we worked with a specialist Facebook social media strategy person. And then this year we're going to do more SEO. And I would say, you know what, don't stick to one. Like, you know, play with all of it. You know, but not all the time, because unless you've got tons and tons of money to throw at it, which we don't. You know, I have a budget between £300 to £500 a month, and then I play with that. You know. Yeah. Okay.
Now you talked about the marketing, but you have an online following.
Yeah.
I understand. How did you do that? Is it by creating that data and that statistics? You create the online following.
We grew it organically, because when you grow it organically, I don't want like any people to follow us. You know, I want someone to follow us because they genuinely get our value mission, which is about compassionate care, and at the time of death. You know, they know what they're signing up for, because not everybody wants to follow a funeral service on Facebook. So I want our people who follow us, because they've somewhere along the line engaged with us. I want it to be a genuine reason they're following us. Yeah. Like when I follow something on Facebook, it's because I'm a genuine follower of that particular information they're giving me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's about being authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and keeping it.
I'm glad, that you know, it's not just about doing business. What you've got to realize, and everybody out there who wants to get into business, you've got to realize that you've got to put careful thought into your marketing.
Absolutely.
Because that's key. Marketing is very important. It's a very vital part of your business, and investing into marketing, you shouldn't be counting pennies there. That is very important. A lot of businesses, I find, they don't realize that investing into marketing is so important. They actually try and save money that way, but I don't think you should. Like you've just said, try the different things. One might work, another might not, but if you don't try, you wouldn't know.
But also what I would say, to all the future entrepreneur women out there, is that if you're reading some marketing content that's going to be put out about your service and you're not happy, 100% question that. Do not put stuff out. Do not agree to stuff that you think, oh yeah, I'm not happy. You have to say, no, I'm not happy with this. It's not going out. And this is what happens, that's what happens is that when you're a leader of your business, is that you have to start becoming really, really comfortable about calling the shots. By saying, I'm not happy about this going ahead. And I don't mean that as marketing. I'm saying that really you have to become comfortable about being the boss of your business and saying, I'm not happy about this is not going ahead. Because ultimately, in terms of marketing, what is marketing? It's your communication. Yeah. If you're putting content out there and it doesn't resonate with your heart, it doesn't resonate with your values, then who are we then? Exactly. We're just selling our soul. I'm not going to do that.
That's very true. Yeah. Now, we have come to the end of the show.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we've got more questions to ask you. I know your business is involved with many community campaigns, and you're involved with many community organizations as well, and you're supporting and getting support. But however, we're going to end it now. Viewers, thank you very much for watching the show today, and I want to thank my guest, Hasina, today for coming on to the show. Now, remember, viewers, if you have anybody that that can come onto the show and we can bring up and talk about their businesses, please do let us know. It's businesstoday@europentv.com. That's businesstoday@europentv.com. That was our email. So until next time, remember, tomorrow's business is business today.